Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It is Super Bowl weekend, and today I will give 5 predictions, including who I think is going to be the winner of Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Patriots. But before we get into that, let's quickly recap my predictions for the AFC and NFC championship games. So for the AFC championship game, I did not do great. I went 1 for 5 on my 5 predictions. I predicted that the Patriots would have over 244 passing yards. They didn't come even close to that. I predicted that the Broncos would force at least 2 turnovers. They forced 0 and actually committed 2, so I was dead wrong there. I did get correct that the Broncos would rush for under 116 yards. They didn't even come close to 116. I foolishly thought that Jarrett Stidham would be able to move the ball through the air on the Patriots defense. He could not, and I predicted that the Broncos would win 20-17. The Patriots won 10-7. Although I was correct that the Broncos would cover the 4.5-point spread, I am not going to say I got this pick correct since the Broncos clearly was the wrong side of this one, so that's not great. And then for the NFC Championship game, I got all 5 of my predictions correct, 5 for 5. I predicted that the Rams would have over 268 passing yards. They did. I predicted they would go over 93 rushing yards. They did. On the other side of the ball, I predicted that the Seahawks would have over 221 passing yards. They did. I predicted that the Seahawks would win the turnover battle. They did 1-0, and that one takeaway was actually on special teams. It was a muffed punt, but I got that correct. And I predicted that the Seahawks would win 27-24. They won 31-27. So the matchup for Super Bowl 60 is the NFC champion and number 1 seed Seattle Seahawks, who won 14 games in the regular season. Finished the regular season with a record of 14-3. They had a bye in the wild card round. They played the 49ers in the divisional round and steamrolled them 41-6. And they played the Rams in the NFC Championship game, as previously mentioned, and they won that game 31-27. And the New England Patriots, the AFC champion and number 2 seed, the Patriots won 16-3 at home in the wild card round against the Los Angeles Chargers. They won 28-16 at home in the divisional round against the Houston Texans. And in the AFC Championship game, they went on the road to Denver and won 10-7 in a game that there was a blizzard in the second half, and it made playing offense pretty much impossible. The Broncos in the AFC Championship game had a backup quarterback, and the Patriots, although they trailed for much of that game, they gave up a touchdown in the opening quarter. The defense pitched a shutout against Jarrett Stidham the rest of the way. So these teams last met in the Super Bowl 49, back in the 2014 season, calendar year 2015, and that was the game where the Seahawks, down 28-24 with under a minute to go in the fourth quarter, with a chance to repeat because they were the defending champions that year. They were at the 1-yard line and for some reason decided not to run the ball. They passed the ball, it got intercepted in the end zone, and the Seahawks lost that Super Bowl. So these teams meet in the Super Bowl 11 years later for the first time since Super Bowl 49. So, as usual, my first 2 predictions will pertain to the visiting team's offense against the home team's defense. The next 2 will pertain to the home team's offense against the visiting team's defense. And the 5th prediction will be who I think is going to win the game. So, first, for the Seahawks offense against the Patriots defense. The Patriots defense has been on an absolute heater in the playoffs, as I said earlier. They have given up 3, 16, and 7 points in their 3 playoff games. That sums to 26 points in 3 playoff games, so that's like less than 9 points per game. However, the offenses, and I'm not taking away, I don't want to take away credit from the Patriots defense. They've been incredible in the playoffs, but I don't think they've faced great offenses in their AFC playoff games. Of course, the LA Chargers have maybe the worst offensive line in the NFL. They don't have a lot to offer at wide receiver. The Houston Texans, they also have a terrible offensive line. I don't think they have a good quarterback, and they were without their number one wide receiver. And of course, the Broncos in the AFC Championship game had a backup quarterback. The Patriots have allowed, on average, 185 passing yards per game this season. And my first prediction is that the Seahawks are going to go over that. I just think that the Seahawks' passing offense is a lot better than the passing offenses that the Patriots faced in the 3 AFC playoff games. Of course, the Seahawks have arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL in Jackson Smith-Njigba. They have a couple of good pass-catching tight ends. Sam Darnold had a great game against the Rams in the NFC Championship game, although I don't think he'll be as effective throwing the ball in this game as he was in that one. I do think that the Seahawks will go over 185 passing yards in this game. My next prediction, the Patriots' run defense, when Milton Williams has been healthy, the defensive tackle, the Patriots' run defense has been almost impenetrable. Their run defense has been incredible in the playoffs since they got Milton Williams back. He was on IR for like the latter quarter of the season, and the run defense did struggle in the absence of Milton Williams. But since I got Milton Williams back, him paired with Christian Barmore, that's an incredible duo of defensive tackles, and it's borderline impossible to displace the interior defensive line of the Patriots. So my next prediction is that the Seahawks rush for under 123 yards. That's what the Seahawks have averaged this year running the ball. I think they go under that. So on the other side, with the Patriots offense against the Seahawks defense, the Patriots offense, specifically their passing offense, was excellent in the regular season. They were number one in the regular season in just about all the efficiency metrics for passing. They were number one in yards per pass, number one in EPA per pass. But they have really struggled in the playoffs. As I said, they couldn't really move the ball at all against the Broncos defense in the AFC Championship game. Drake May had several fumbles against the Chargers and Texans in the wild card and divisional rounds. I understand those are all excellent defenses, but the Seahawks defense is excellent as well. So my first prediction for the Patriots offense against the Seahawks defense, I think that the Seahawks will win the turnover battle. I am not going to predict how many turnovers the Seahawks are going to force, because I think it is possible that Sam Darnold turns the ball over against the Patriots defense as well. But as I said, Drake May has had a fumbling problem in the postseason, although he didn't lose a fumble in the AFC Championship game. He had several fumbles against the Chargers and Texans. I think that the Seahawks defensive line against the Patriots offensive line is a mismatch. The Patriots offensive line has really struggled in these playoffs. They've given up an average of 5 sacks per game. And again, they faced 3 really good defensive lines, but this Seahawks defensive line is very good as well. I do not anticipate the Patriots being able to run the ball really at all on the Seahawks, and so I think they'll have to pass the ball. And I think the Seahawks defensive line will be able to tee off a little bit against an offensive line in the Patriots that has really struggled in the postseason. And doubling on that, my next prediction is that Drake May is going to be sacked at least 3 times. The Patriots have allowed 5 sacks per game, as I previously said, in the postseason. They've given up 5 sacks in each of the AFC playoff games. 5 sacks against the Chargers, 5 sacks against the Texans, 5 sacks against the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. I think that the Seahawks will get to him at least 3 times in this game. And lastly, who do I think is going to win the game? The Seahawks are 4-point favorites. I do not anticipate this being a total blowout like last year in the Super Bowl was, because last year in the Super Bowl, obviously the Eagles' defensive line dominated the Chiefs the entire game. But also the Eagles' offense, they were able to throw the ball all over the Chiefs. Although I do think the Seahawks will go over 185 passing yards against the Patriots, I don't think that they'll light up the Patriots' defense. But I do think that the Patriots are really going to struggle to move the ball against the Seahawks defense. And I think the Seahawks offense is a lot better. It's the best offense by far that the Patriots will have faced in the playoffs thus far. So the Seahawks, as I said, are 4-point favorites. I think they will win the game, and I think they will cover that. I think they win by 10. I think it's somewhat of a low-scoring game. I think it'll be 23-13. I expect Seattle's defense to dominate this game, just like they did when they won their first Super Bowl in franchise history back in Super Bowl 48 against that great Broncos offense led by Peyton Manning in the 2013 season. And although I don't think the Seahawks offense will be great, I think they will do just enough to win this game by 10 points. And that will be all for today. Thank you again for tuning into this video, and thank you for tuning in to my videos throughout the 2025 through 26 NFL season. I will try to get some videos out during the off season around the time of the NFL draft, and in the summer predicting the 2026 through 27 NFL season. So thank you again. Have a good day, and I will see you next time.